Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jesus here with the Van Bros. Man, what a stream, huh? Anyways, we'll get to that at the end. But today we're going to be deck profiling Alfred. I don't have King of Knight Alfred sleeves, and I'm not too bummed about it. So, Alfred, the rideline, Wingle Brave, Tranquilia. So, obviously that means that this doesn't matter. It could be any starting Vanguard, but I like Wingle Brave because he fits the theme. Tranquilia, you guys know what he does. Blaster Blade because it's necessary, and King of Knights Alfred. I don't run Marin because he's unnecessary. I don't run any other blasters in the main deck, so his search skill is useless. And calling out a Wingle Brave to boost what? It's 2025 and Alfred still can't be boosted. He has 3 skills. The first skill is probably his best skill. During your turn, he cannot be boosted. That blows, but maybe the rest is better. If you have Blaster Blade in the Soul, he gains 2,000 power for each of your rear guards. If you have 8,000 power or more, and your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3, he gets a crit. The crit, I think, should have just been a thing if he had Blaster Blade in the Soul, and he should have just otherwise gotten power, but that's just me. Having to wait for your opponent to be grade 3 is nice if every other card were designed that way. He has another skill, Act. Once per turn, Energy Blast 3. Search your deck for up to 1 grade 3 or less card with only Royal Paladin for its clan. Call it to rear, shuffle the deck, and choose one of that unit's auto abilities, and until the end of the turn, reduce the next counterblast by 1. Very, 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 very specific group of cards that it can call. Blaster Blade is one of them. That's why you see some lists run Blaster Blade, but Japanese lists don't. Ooh, I wonder why. Anyways, the only other target that we have for this is Virgilla, the Soul Saber variant. And I'm just going to be honest. This card is absolute dog water. Like, this card is just so garbage. His next skill is good. When he attacks, counterblast 1. Choose a rearguard with only Royal Paladin in its clan. Stand it, and if your opponent's Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater, choose 2 instead of 1. Again, this is a good card, but it's limited because of the fact that there are no Royal Paladins in Standard that are good. Like, Knight of Loyalty Vetivier and Knight of Friendship K are just, they're not good. It's 2025. Those cards are like 2011, like, bad. So, I don't understand why they designed this card to be so garbage and so reliant on a promo that we do not own. Like, we don't know when we're gonna get it, and that's the aggravating part. But yeah, we're gonna go into the deck, and spoiler alert, there is a Keter pile in this. And even though like the Keter pile is in it, it doesn't do much for the deck. 3 copies of your Persona Ride. Sorry about the glare, but there he is if you want to see him again. 4 copies of Virgilla, Brilliant Wings Star Dragon Virgilla. He's treated as Soul Saber. During your turn, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Alfred in its name, it gets 5k power, and if your opponent is grade 3 or greater, it gets the rest of the skill. Which, front row, at the beginning of the battle phase, you can counterblast 1 to choose 3 units, and they get 5k. But if you Persona Road, you counterblast 1 to give it to all units. Instead of the 3, which is nice, except for the fact that it's useless if you go first. When this unit attacks and is stood by your Vanguard's ability, and no drive checks were performed for the battle that your rearguard attacked this turn, Soul Blast the King of Knights Alfred. Until the end of that battle, this unit's drive becomes 1 and it can perform drive checks. It's like limitation after limitation after limitation. This card desperately wants to be good, but it is held back by whoever is designing cards at Bushiroad. They saw that this card was not going to appear in the anime and thought, let's just make this card as garbage as possible. I'm sorry if you really are like a fanatic of this deck and you couldn't wait to play it, but this deck is just not it. 4 Teeth Vault, 1 of the Ace unit. 2 copies of Luvirion, 4 Perfect Arts, 3 Coco to put cards into the soul to check the top deck. Not only that, but you can also just put Alfreds into the soul to activate Virgil. This deck is not going to survive enough for you to Persona Ride everything. 2 Dindrain to countercharge, because this does use quite a bit of Counterblast. We run 2 copies of Life Saving Angel, probably the only like sauce in this deck. Not really though. If a unit in the same column is stood by a card's effect, you can put this back to hand. It's good, but then you realize that the power up from this, like, it loses its power because a rearguard is leaving the field. But it's not bad because it's discard fodder. But you could honestly change it to have another Luberon and another Coco. So it's honestly very like interchangeable. Of course, 4 of this dog. And I run the Caliburn again for the counter charge and the option to draw 2. It's not bad. Sorry if these are cut off, but 4 wisdom to draw 2, 8 crit, 4 heal. The soul fronts because you need soul for Din Drain and the other card skills, and then the red OT. This deck is so bad. I'm so sorry, guys. Like, it's just I was so excited to play this, but without like Zero, this deck goes from being mediocre to just plain like ass. And it's just tough. It's tough to be a Bushiroad fan when they don't tell us when we're gonna get important promos, and they just, you know, completely just ignore us. Like that stream, that product streamed, or the announcement stream, that gave off like unfinished like school project vibes. That to the premium players out there, I am so sorry that Bushiroad is just being completely toxic and abusive to you by omitting information that is otherwise important, such as the participation pricing, and not only that, but the like top 32, top 16 pricing, as well as the premium pricing. The fact that they're not putting premium in a ton of locations to cater to card games that are, I don't know why they're deciding to start, like Godzilla TCG and Hollow like Life. Like, what is going on with that? Yeah, this company really does need to realize that there are better and a ton of variety and options out there, and eventually people are gonna get sick and tired of their mistreatment of the fans. This game, the game's success is in spite of Bushiroad, and I want to thank you guys for watching, sitting through all that. Like, I hate being negative on the channel, but it's just, you know, one of the many things that as a Vanguard player you should be able to express your concerns, and I try not to be too negative. So for now, that's all I'm going to say on the matter of how they're treating the player base. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Again, this deck is, I wish this deck could be better, but for now, we're just gonna have to wait and see when we're gonna get the Zero, as well as the Nebula Knights order. I don't know when that'll happen, but yeah, thank you again for watching. Ava should be coming up once I get the cards for it, and like, subscribe. I have the socials down there, and thanks again for watching.